Welcome everybody to this video on subtracting rational expressions. Here we have two rational expressions we're asked to subtract, and it's important to realize that when we're subtracting rational expressions, it's very similar to the way that we subtract fractions. First thing we must look for is to make sure we have a common denominator. As you can see here, we do have a common denominator, which is great. It means we don't have to do any extra work, so we can go ahead and subtract these two pretty simply. So when we have common denominators, the denominator is going to stay the same. So it's just going to stay as x squared minus 2x plus 1. And we have to subtract our numerators. So here we have 2x minus 2. Then we can combine like terms if we can. You can see x and 2 are not like terms, so we can't combine them. But from here you might think you're done, but we always want to see if we can factor and simplify our expression. Looking at our numerator, I can see that we can factor this. We can actually take a factor of 2 out of both of these terms. So if we take a 2 out, we are left with x minus 1. All right, I just took a 2 out of both of those terms and moved it out front. So now we have 2 times x minus 1. And in the bottom, we have a quadratic that we can also factor. So if you remember, when we factor a quadratic, we're trying to look for those two binomials we multiply together to give us the original. And of course, in the front of this is just going to be our two x terms. So it's x times x gives us the x squared. And then in order to figure out this back end, we have to find two numbers that multiply to give us a positive 1, but when we add them, give us negative 2. And for this example, it's not too terribly difficult because there really is only one combination, and that's going to be negative 1 times negative 1, right? Because negative 1 times negative 1 gives us a positive 1, which is what we want, and when we add these two together, it gives us a negative 2, which is our b term here. So we're going to fill in our values of negative 1 and negative 1, and then we can see that we have some common factors that we can simplify. So we have an x minus 1 in the top and an x minus 1 in the bottom. And then we don't have any other common factors to simplify. So our final simplified answer is going to be 2 over x minus 1. And that is how you subtract rational expressions.